All right, so we're here with Melanie from TreeLotion420. She's in Santa Cruz, California. What's going on, Melanie?
Hi, how's it going? Good.
Good, good. We just started carrying Melanie's products on our site, cbdumi.com, and we are super excited because the stuff that she makes is actually quite amazing, and her story is even more incredible, I think, too. And so, I want to I want you guys to get to know her product, and you're going to see how awesome it is, how excited we are to have it on our site. So, first of all, Melanie, tell us about you. Who's Melanie, and what should we know about you?
I grew up in Santa Cruz, California, kind of the cannabis mecca. At
Hmm.
least, that's what Santa Cruz is known for, I guess. So I've heard. Um, I worked for two gentlemen that had about four clubs in San Jose, and I helped start them. I helped everything from the ground up, the build out, and I was around cannabis all the time. And they were
Hmm.
always heavily medicating, and to the point where it was like 40 joints on the way from Santa Cruz to San Jose as I was driving in a haze.
40 joints. Okay, so that's only like maybe like a 45-minute drive, right?
Yeah, it's really short.
I mean, that's like every 10 minutes I got a new joint, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They had a lot of ailments, and heavily medicating was how they helped
And
people.
that's also dangerous. I mean, you're driving, you're smoking that much. I mean, I don't agree with that. Do you, or how do you feel about
No,
that?
I would get to work and it was like, okay, I needed a good 25 minutes to clear my head before I could actually be useful. So,
Yeah.
I started looking around and they had all this byproduct, all this waste. And I said, there's got to be other ways you can medicate because this is not healthy for everybody involved. And I'm
And
supposed
what
to be helping you.
and what year was this?
This was in 2012, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So their medical marijuana was still around, and so they were obviously that's the space they were in, right? And so what was the byproduct that was just laying around?
It wasn't really laying around, but they had farms. So they had machines that were generating keef on a regular basis, and it would just be tons and tons of keef. So they let me take a container full home and start experimenting with it.
And did you have any experience doing like skincare products or making your own like cannabis products before? Or did you just teach yourself at this point?
Well, I was always into apothecary and essential oils. I'm self-taught. I experimented with balms. I was looking into the hair care line, years ago because I wanted to make a balm for my own skin because I have sensitivities. So I just incorporated my knowledge of that and just kind of experimented and searched the web a lot and bought books and listened to audio tapes and just kind of came up with the best thing that I could. I had a lot of test dummies in the industry, lots of people that love free product and would give me feedback. So I changed things. Um, I never really took it serious though. It was just a hobby. I just, did it for friends, did it to help my bosses.
Hmm.
Um, it's pretty cool. It's come a long way actually.
And so did it always have cannabis in it, or you said you started with just regular essential oils?
Well, I always had the keef in it.
Hmm.
I just, use different methods to break down the keef and put it in the lotions. But before I even had any interest in cannabis, I was making my own balms and tinctures.
Hmm. And so it sounds like I mean, that's incredible, by the way, that you taught yourself that. And I love that. So by the way, have you always been like an entrepreneur, like kind of mindset?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. It's in my blood.
Do you have family history of it?
My grandparents started Quick Stop Markets, if you're familiar with them.
Oh, I do. I am very familiar. I've
Okay.
stopped quickly in them recently.
My grandfather was 26, so
Wow.
someone's got to carry on the legacy.
Yeah. And it's very it's very California thing too, especially Northern California. Just that I mean, not having the burden of working for someone else, I think is always it's a big motivator for me as well. Um,
I don't
so
follow the rules very well, so it's really good that I'm my own boss. I like to
yeah.
make the rules.
So I see some of that product that's the stuff right there behind you, right, in the
Yep.
cabinet.
This is my office.
And is this where you actually make everything?
No, I have a
Or
warehouse in Davenport.
okay.
But
And
I,
do they
I always have to have supply on hand because I have a local following, and people rely on me. So I always have to have some at the house for people to stop by and,
And
you know.
and so when did it start like becoming less of a hobby and more of an actual business? I mean, did you make a decision one day, or just kind of did it just kind of morph into it?
No, I was trying to go back and forth that I want to stay in the cannabis industry because it was hard and it was on the cusp. It was not legal. It was like I was the pot mom. I was the marijuana mom. So I have 3 kids, so I decided to open a meal prep company and kind of do the lotion as a hobby, but it started to fall off as I was putting more interest into my meal prep company. And people needed it. They started calling me and they said, "Hey, listen, I'm not getting cortisone shots on my feet anymore because of your lotion," or, "Hey, like I'm on 50% of my meds now because of the creams for my rheumatoid arthritis," or, "This is helping my eczema." So it was almost like, okay, I'll make another batch. Okay,
Hmm.
I'll make another batch. And then it's like people were coming to me and telling me, "This is what you're chosen to do. This is what you need to do. You're helping everybody."
And so it took other, it's almost like the universe was telling you, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And you just had
Yeah.
to let it happen, or kind of
Just
a,
keep pushing through, just keep pushing through.
yeah.
So
And
that's what I'm
so,
still doing. Just keep swimming.
so that happened. You realize, okay, well, this is what I have to be doing. And then when did it go from making it in your house to actually getting the warehouse? And then now you're selling in dispensaries.
When Tommy Chong came to me for the second time, the first time he came to me was 4 years ago. His son got a bottle in his hands, gave it to his dad, and they loved it. So they came to me and wanted to work with me, but I had just had a baby, and there was no way. I was sleep deprived,
Yeah.
and it was still a hobby at that point. I wasn't willing to invest all the money into it because it
Hmm.
wasn't legal yet. It wasn't there yet, and people didn't really take topicals seriously yet.
Mm.
So when he came to me again for a second time, I told myself the universe doesn't bring Tommy to you twice.
Hmm.
And he said that he's gone through thousands and thousands of companies that offered him topicals and nobody compared to mine. So I figured
Wow.
I shined, so I got to do something with it. And so we
And,
launched in December, like a coexisting line.
mhm. And so that's amazing, by the way. I mean, did you ever think you were ever going to meet Tommy Chong when you started doing this?
No, it wasn't even a thought in my head.
So how did he actually? How did his son get your product in his hand?
He frequents Santa Cruz often. He has friends here, and
Hmm.
we have mutual friends. So, that's kind of how it played out. Just the
Uh-huh.
universe putting it in his hands somehow.
Yeah.
I have a lot of locals that have used my products for years, so I would imagine he got it from, someone that we knew.
So you never actually asked him how he got it.
Well, from we do have a mutual friend, but he had seen it before or used
Mm.
it before, and no, I don't think I even asked him.
And so, what was it like meeting Tommy Chong? Tell us about Tommy Chong real quick.
He's a nice guy. He's
Yeah.
funny, super humble. Um, he's he's everything you'd expect him to be.
Yep. So he's not. I mean, I get that sense from some of the interviews I've seen him do, and he's been on like Chelsea Handler show and everything. And
He's super laid back, just goes with the flow.
yeah, and he was explaining all of his. I mean, he got pretty set back by the government when they came in and they raided his all of his head shops basically, and they got him on the stupidest charge, and it's just like I can't believe that's what people are spending their time doing, especially a guy like Tommy Chong, Um, so what's it been like working with him? I mean, how does he help you with the product, and what does he do for you?
Well, right now we're in limbo.
Hmm.
So because of the laws, I'm working on my manufacturing license for the THC side of it. Um, so we're not able to help each other in great ways right now, but he does promote the product. He uses the product.
Hmm.
He's patient with me while we work on the licensing and such. So
Hmm.
it was like it's a short-lived experience so far just because we launched in December and January, all the new laws passed.
Hmm.
So he's just staying true and staying loyal, which is
Yeah.
more than I could ever ask for. So
And so let's talk about the product a little bit more because there's a lot of different choices. You have 6 different kinds. You even have more stuff than just stuff this than this. But so, you know, how did you come up with the names is my first question. And then secondly, like, what is the difference between all of them? If you can like describe, like, how would I pick which one, if I had like a certain ailment, is there a certain one that I would pick?
I have these little cheat sheet cards. Um,
Oh, you do.
I have some literature here. Yeah, and good thing I have my glasses on. But the reason I chose the names, it's based on the blends of the essential oils that I used. I made sure that I took the most beneficial medicinal things for particular ailments. So breathe is something, it's got lemongrass and it's going to make you feel a little bit more vibrant, a little more awake. And the blends that I have with it, it's actually penetrates 7 layers deep because of the carrier oils I use. But it gives you different effects. So breathe, serenity gives you kind of, a little bit of peace, takes the edge off of your pain. And vitality is the same way. Calm, relax, and soothe. So it's calming. It's going to have lavender in it. Same with the soothe. It's going to have lavender and rosemary and yin and yang. It's just a whole mixture, a blend of essential oils. That's how I came up with the names.
And so breathe, let's say like that's literally going to help my respiration if I put it near me and I inhale it.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just going to kind of wake you up. But it's also going to nourish you because of the CBD that's in there. So it's a bone stimulant, it's antifungal, it'll take away the edge of your pain. It's known to. It'll also nourish your skin at the same time. It'll what do I want to say? It's an antioxidant. I mean, there's a lot of different benefits just because of the CBD in there. But then when you put the blends of essential oils, it's like double the factor.
Yeah. And that's what makes yours really unique. I'm sure they smell amazing. I actually haven't had a chance to even get them yet, but I bet you they're just incredible to put on and touch and everything. I mean, do people normally, they get it for pain, right? Maybe they start out that way and then they realize it has all these other benefits. Is that kind of how it works? I mean, are you shocked by some of the people the feedback that you get? Like say, oh, I mean, it cleared this up. I didn't even expect it to do that.
I used to be shocked. Now it's just helping me continue the movement, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like motivating.
Yeah, because it is, I mean, it is kind of hard to believe, to be honest. I mean, you read the benefits of everything. It's like anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, eczema, ADHD, right? You mentioned. I mean, I mean, is CBD really that magical? Like how could it actually do all that? I mean, I believe it, but it's so hard to believe. Tell us about why it's so effective.
Well, I mean, it's natural. It comes from Mother Nature, just like the essential oils does. That's where all our true medicine came, before big pharma and all this stuff. That's where everything in the Roman days, medieval times, that's how they
Mm-hmm.
healed people. So I'm just starting from the ground up. Is that my little guy back there?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm just taking it back old school. I'm not doing something that didn't happen hundreds of years ago. They used to make
Mhm.
salves, the Indians, and people would take marijuana leaves and soak them in alcohol for, weeks and weeks at a time and then use them, for patches and pain and serums and things. So I'm not doing anything different, really.
Mhm.
I'm just reintroducing old school kind of healing and holistic medicine.
Yeah, I mean it's exciting. It's an exciting time to have all this stuff come out right now and have it be available. It's also kind of unnerving because it's like, well, this has been hidden from us for so long, and it shouldn't be this way. And so I think that is that part of the motivation too that you find like that gets you excited about your business, where you're actually part of this movement, like this cannabis movement it's a resurgence of it all. I mean, does that motivate you?
What motivates me is that I can relieve people's pain.
Hmm.
And at the same time that I'm making my products, it's therapy for myself. It's like the kids are driving me nuts, make some lotion.
Hmm.
A long day at whatever, make some lotion. So at the same time that I'm helping people, I'm helping myself. So I also think, you know, that's what motivates me. But also what motivates me is that it breaks the stigma of the cannabis industry, because a lot of people think of, everybody walking around smoking joints,
Mm-hmm.
or, smoking out of bongs, but you can, whatever. I like that I'm breaking the stigma. I'm delivering a message in a way that people can kind of understand.
It's not bongs, Melanie. It's water pipes. Remember
Yes,
that.
water pipes. Yes, sorry.
So I want to hear, like, what's the most amazing transformation or the most amazing thing that you've heard that your products can do for somebody? Like, you gave it to one of your customers and they came back and they just like unbelievably like excited and like amazed by it.
Just recently, I had a gentleman. He buys topicals for his wife. He said that she had a spot on her arm. I don't know that it was a cyst. I'm not sure what wording he used, but she'd had it for 7+ years. Couldn't find anything to make it go away. Gone to the doctors, gotten everything. She used my creams, in 1 month, the whole thing is gone. It went from like a big, huge spot on her arm to nothing. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. People that have had foot fungus for years tell me that it helps, with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many different stories that they're all kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to pick one, and you've been doing it for so long. And so tell us like the mechanical like sort of way that it works. I mean, you have the CBD inside the lotion and all the essential oils, and I mean, it's as easy as just rubbing it on your skin, and then all the benefits start happening. Does it even matter where you rub it? I mean, and you could just absorb it, right?
Yeah, it absorbs and it goes pretty much to where it needs to go. It's that amazing. It always helps to rub it directly over wherever your wound is. But I mean, hemp is amazing because that's what my CBD is derived from, and it targets your pain no matter where you place it. You can put it on the back of your neck, your CB1 and CB2 receptors, and it's going to help you with the migraine. It's just how often you use it. It doesn't happen right away. For some people, it happens in 45 minutes. For some people, it happens in 2 hours, or some people don't even notice that it's taking the edge off of their pain until maybe a few days later, if they don't use it and they realize, hey, it seems a little sharper today than it was yesterday because I was using the lotion. It just depends on the person, really.
And like, well, I'm sure that because I know I've dealt with chronic pain before, and what happens is when you finally use something that works, and that pain starts to quiet down, then you realize how loud it's been for so.
Exactly.
And even sometimes you start realizing like, oh, this hurts too, but this has been hurting so bad that I didn't even notice that.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I have tendonitis in my left arm, and I can always tell you when it's going to rain because it acts up. I could barely move my hand that day. But as long as I'm continuously making my lotion, my tendonitis doesn't affect me at all, not one bit. So
Yeah.
I know for myself, it gives me pain relief,
So what's the change that you hope that Tree Lotion will give to the world, or to what you are working on?
Well, I'm hoping that people, when they think of pain, they automatically think of relief from CBD, and they can seek out products that are going to contain that, instead of going to the physician and getting pain meds, or they can look, towards holistic medicine.
Mm-hmm. The natural stuff, the stuff that's non-addictive, the stuff
Yeah,
that comes from the earth, the stuff that's not tainted by all the pharmaceutical companies and whatever they're doing in their labs and everything. That's the vision. That's your vision of the future.
absolutely.
I'm right there with you. I mean, that's why we have this website. That's why we are lucky enough to have you, give us your products and be able to sell it. So we can't. Well, first of all, we can't thank you enough for giving us this opportunity. But what we want to do for sure is just make sure that everybody knows that this stuff is going to be available on cbdumi.com for the time being. And then eventually, when you get your website figured out, it'll be available from TreeLotion.com as well.
Yes.
Right now, it's limited to essentially the Bay Area, and then I think you have a Southern California as well, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I guess.
And Portland and Idaho.
Oh, okay. Are those
Yeah.
new? Are those new?
Yes, those are new.
Oh, great. And so, are you looking to expand into dispensaries? I mean, I guess you're trying to go nationwide. How long do you think that'll take?
Well, I don't want it to be available just in dispensaries. That's why I really love the CBD portion of my business. I want it to be available to everybody nationwide in stores everywhere. Um,
Mhm.
and that can take years, but that's my goal, so that people that are scared of the dispensaries are able to go into a Sprouts or a Whole Foods to buy it, or
Mhm.
a higher end grocery store.
Right, right. So if you're in the Bay Area, or if any one of those cities that that she mentioned, the information of where to buy it from the dispensaries is on her site, and we recommend that if you are in those areas, go to the dispensaries. It helps out Melanie. It helps out the dispensaries that she's working with, because she has those relationships. But if you're not in those areas, come to the website, and we can ship nationwide. We're going to be doing some specials coming up here in the next few weeks, depending on when you watch this, and we're excited to have it. And I don't know, is there anything else you want to say before we end this, Melanie?
Thanks for your time. I'm not really good at the whole speaking not online thing, but I'm working on it. Sorry for the mishaps, little slip ups.
Oh, nothing. No, not at all. I mean, we get to see you in your element. It must be nice to work from home and be able to be with your family and everything. And so, especially, I see that's why I like this too. Is that we know the money that you raise is going to you and your family and your community, and not some weird big evil pharmaceutical company, basically.
Right.
And
And the thing about my lotion is I make it in small batches.
mhm,
So, eventually, it'll be a larger scale business, but I'd like to
mhm,
continuously make it in small batches for consistency and, to
mhm.
make sure there's quality versus quantity.
Right. Yeah. And we hope you can get there too. It's getting into that larger scale. And, but it wouldn't, I know you would, you'd have the same quality, because I know this stuff is amazing. And, actually real quick, what are some other products you do? I know you have the bath bombs, right? And you have, some of the other, so what else do you have?
I make 400 milligram botanical flower Epsom salts. I make soaps and shampoo and conditioners, balms, chapsticks. I make it all. I make all kinds of stuff. I'm working on a tea line right now. So it'll be individually dosed tea bags
Of CBD or THC?
of CBD. I'm going to focus really hard on the CBD while I'm working on the licensing part for the THC. So I have a lot of great CBD products right now I'm working on. I have a cream. It's called Restore, and it's a sports cream. It has arnica and peppermint in it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really a thick base, but it's a great muscle cream. So I got lots of little things in the works.
Wow.
Hmm.
So this excites you, I can tell, and it's great that you're doing it. And we're, yeah, like I said, I mean, we're just excited, and it's going to be amazing to see Tree Lotion grow. So, um, thanks so much for the interview. Everybody go to cbdme.com or to the local dispensaries that are listed on treelotion.com site. And that's it. So thanks again, Melanie, so much. We'll help you have a good Saturday, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
All right.